Hey, look, I get to meet William Shatner. It was the most surrealistic 15 seconds of my life. Welcome back, YouTube. I already did a review of this book, which was pretty sick. Mark Bellomo's Guide to the Vintage Kenner Line of Star Wars Figures. But I got something better. I got a gift card from work. And we went from that to the ultimate book of Star Wars action figures. This one doesn't feature any vehicles, but it goes beyond the Kenner line of the early vintage stuff and goes 77 up to when this book was published, I think 2012. And it is, look how thick this book is. It's got everything in there. Everything. Every single figure line that came out. I bought this with a free gift card from work, and it says $40, but I got it for a lot less. I got it a lot cheaper than that. Let's open it up and check it out. Got a nice little side stuff there. Here's my checklist of figures. Don't need to see that. Got some stormtroopers. And there's that here. The introduction, pretty neat. Gives you the history of all Star Wars figures. But you probably already know all that stuff. Pictures of the Ewok figures. Here, this is I found pretty interesting. Gives you what each card looked like for every one of the different series of figures. Kind of keep it in perspective, because it is pretty daunting, the amount of figures that have come out. And it goes by character instead of line by line, which I kind of would have probably rather liked. But I can see the point of why they did it. If you would just want to look up C-3PO figures, you flip to C-3PO and it's got every C-3PO figure made up until about 2012. Although, since the last 5 years, they probably doubled that amount. Like, dudes, I don't even know this character. And he's got his own little bio and apparently a bunch of other figures of him. Chancellor Palpatine. Every Chewbacca ever. Keep flipping around. All the minute variations of, the power of the Force figures for like Han Solo. This one came with this card with that gun. This one came with this card and that set. Stuff like that. Really interesting. Like if you were a completist and say you just wanted to collect every Han Solo figure and you needed a reference to go to eBay, this would be the book to have. And it gives you little descriptions. Here's a little description of what exactly each figure was. A little description of the variation and what line it came through. It's from 1996 Expanded Universe, Red Deluxe. Really minute stuff only the hardcore will love. But we're toy collectors. We're all hardcore. Really highlights the fact that they'll make a action figure out of just about any scene, no matter how fleeting the character was on screen. And I didn't even know I don't even remember Han Solo wearing an AT-ST driver outfit in Return of the Jedi. They made a figure of it. They did. Really shows that you could just be like a Luke Skywalker collector, because there's got to be at least 35, 40 figures of Luke. Very varying outfits and stuff. Here's something that kind of shocked me. There were only 4 Gamoran Guard figures. You figure that he would have had at least like 10. Yes, they did make a figure of the guy running around with the ice cream maker from Empire Strikes Back on Bespin. But how would you know to look that up? Say you knew that figure was out. You'd know he had a name. Wilro Hood. That's one of the drawbacks about this book. Would have been nicer if they broke it up by movie or, a chronology of the collection. Because you're really going to know your Star Wars shit in order to use this book. I kind of know my Star Wars shit, but, reading this book, I'm probably in a lower percentile of, Star Wars expert. Not the A+, read all the expanded universe kind of stuff. You just got to kind of dive right into it. Alphabetical order, name of characters, and then just flip through it. I mean, you can flip through this thing for hours and days. When I'm bored sitting around watching TV, I just kind of leave this book out and I flip through it and study it and learn all that stuff by osmosis and become, more of a Star Wars expert. Here's another guy. Like, I remember that guy from the movie, and if I want to think, oh, what was that character's name? I'd have to go to IMDb or Wikipedia or something and try and figure out, like, random Jedi names for whoever the hell this guy was. No, I guess you spend a couple minutes flipping through the book, and then you'll find all the figures they made of them. Of course, we all know Klaatu. I mean, come on. But for the person who doesn't know who Klaatu is, this book would be kind of hard to find. I think this is a whole mess of Disneyland exclusive droids. I don't know if you'd count those as canon to action figures. But it's kind of cool that they threw them in there. 2,500 figures up until the point of this book came out. Some weirdo out there has all of them too. You know that's got to be. Probably got like 5 yak faces too. This, I flip through it. I see something I really like, then I go check it out on eBay, see if I want it. Good thing about this, 95% of all the Star Wars figures they're not worth a whole lot unless they're vintage. But Power of the Force stuff, it's all kind of cheap and worthless because the market's been flooded with this stuff. So use this book as kind of like a wish book, like the Sears catalog from back in the day. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Did they make another version of them? Yeah, I think I want that for my collection. So I'll go flip it around on eBay and see if I can get it. There's another use for this book. Kind of like your buying guide, because everything's at the touch of your fingers now. I mean, you could just buy whatever on eBay. You don't really have to hunt this stuff down. I was at the flea market and there was nothing good. Well, that's all my thoughts on the subject. Well, there's his autograph. Does that even say William Shatner? Is that just like some weird scribble? Whatever. It was awesome.